Hi, I'm Dan with Holman Motors, and I'll be showing your 2013 ViewFinder to you. And we'll start on the passenger side, or the curb side, just in front of the main entry door with your main storage compartment. And when you open up the main storage compartment, you're going to find a number of items. You'll find your gas grill that comes with your unit, and you'll find the cradle and the quick connect gas hookup, as well as the cover for when you're camping and you want to leave that connected. And we'll talk about where that goes on, and that's just to the left of the refrigerator vent on the side of your unit, and we'll get to that when we come on around to that part of the unit. You're also going to find the wrench for your stabilizers in case you're dry camping someplace and you lose all battery power, or you're electric camping and you're have lost power and you need to bring these stabilizers up or from the down position and override them manually. That's what this wrench would be for, and it's stowed up inside here. Also up into the right, you're going to find the switch to power this front stabilizer, and you would reach inside and hit that switch to bring that stabilizer up or down. You would probably want to carry either those little plastic leveling blocks or some blocks of wood inside here to put underneath those, so that the feet on those don't get so dirty and don't go down into sandy or dusty type soil. You would want to do that for both the front and the rear. And remember that these are to stabilize your unit, both the front and the rear stabilizers, not to level the unit. To level the unit side to side, you would pull the lower side tires up onto either those plastic leveling blocks or onto something like a 2x6. To level the unit front to back, you would use your power jack on the front of your unit to raise or lower the front of the unit to level your unit front to back. Always remember also, when you get ready to hook up your tow vehicle, to bring all the stabilizers up before you raise or lower this front power jack, so that you don't run the risk of bending these stabilizers, as that power jack is much stronger than the stabilizers, and you will bend those stabilizers if you try to jack the front of the unit up or down with those stabilizers in the down position. In addition, you have work lights up inside here to allow you to see in dark conditions. The doors on both sides of these are slam type doors, allowing you to just close them. You can also lock them with one of the sets of key locks that are contained on your key ring, and you'll find all of those keys located in the sink inside your unit when your unit arrives to you. As you come around the front of your unit, you're going to find two work lights on the front of your unit, and those are controlled inside your unit. You're also going to find your battery, and the battery has a cap on it, or a cover, that you would need to take off probably about once a month during the camping season. Then pop the little caps off and check the fluids inside your battery, making sure that the levels, the fluid level in there is above the plates. If that fluid is not above the plates, then you would want to add distilled water to bring that fluid level above the plates to keep that battery in good working condition. Here's that power jack that we were talking about. Extend or retract to raise and lower, to hook up to your tow vehicle, and also to level your unit. Also has a work light on the front of this power jack. Your two 20-gallon propane tanks are contained on the front of your unit, and right now the regulator is set to draw from this particular propane tank. The little air window here will tell you when this propane tank goes dry. It will turn red. Our techs have checked, and both propane tanks are coming to you full of propane. When this propane tank goes dry, the regulator will automatically shift over, and you will start drawing from this propane tank if it has propane in it. What I do, and what most or a lot of campers do, is we keep this propane tank shut off, so that when this propane tank goes empty, then you physically have to come out here and open this tank, switching it over manually to this tank. I do that so that when this tank goes dry, then I know that I need to get this one filled, and I operate off of this tank. That gives me time to get this tank filled so that I'm not completely out of propane in the middle of cooking and the camp store happens to be empty and I cannot finish cooking, or even worst case scenario, I'm in the middle of taking a shower, or the wife is in the middle of taking a shower and we have no more hot water. To put the cover on, you would probably want to get a bungee cord to run underneath all of this and a hook between these two tabs so that in windy conditions this cover is not going to come flying off. Put the cover on, bungee cord it across the bottom. Always put this little access panel to the back and pop it down up underneath these two screw attachments, which allow you to get into the top of here to switch the propane tanks without taking the whole cover off. And we'll get that all hooked up as we finish your tour. Coming on around the side of your unit, you see the manufacturer's tags with tire information about the tires on your unit. Your unit's tire should be set at 50 psi. Our techs have already checked those, and the delivery personnel will also check those when they bring them to you. For safe travel, you always want to check your tire pressure cold before you depart from home every time you go camping. And you want to make sure that they are set at 50 psi. You also want to check the tightness of your tire lugs, snug those down, make sure you torque those properly in order to also ensure safe travel. You also have your manufacturer's VIN number telling you the VIN number of your unit. You will need that for licensing and insurance purposes. The other side of your storage unit. A couple of maintenance items on your unit. One would be your roof. You have a rubber roof on your unit. Any place that comes in contact with the front and or the back of your unit. Also the plumbing fixtures and the air conditioning unit on the top of your unit. That is caulked with what is called a Dicor brand caulking. Because of sun damage and from normal wear and tear, that caulking is going to eventually start to deteriorate and to crack out. You're going to want to get up there and physically check that awning at least 2 times every camping season. More would be a good idea to check that and physically inspect that caulking. If you notice that caulking is starting to deteriorate, you're going to want to caulk right back over that caulking with that Dicor brand caulking. That's what the roof manufacturers use, and that's what we here at Holman Motors recommend that you use. Do not attempt to pry that old caulking up and take that out, as you will cause additional damage. The Dicor brand caulking is self-leveling and will go right back over that old caulking. Do not at any time use a silicone product on that roof, as it will void out your roof warranty and cause additional damage. You also want to keep that roof clean, and about once a season you want to use a good roof sealant product on that roof, like a Best roof sealant or Protec roof sealant, to make sure that you keep that roof in good condition. Another maintenance item on your unit is your slides. While you can walk on the roof to inspect the roof, do not walk on the top of the slides. They are not designed for that. You want to inspect the rubber seals, the rubber gaskets on the sides, the top, and the bottom of your slides, and you want to keep them soft and lubricated with a good UV protectorant type slide spray. All of these products you can purchase from us here at HolmanMotors.com or any reputable RV dealer. If you contact us at Holman Motors, our people in our parts department will know exactly what you need. When you tell them you need the spray for the rubber slides, squeegees, they will tell you exactly what kind of spray to get and can ship that to you. Up on the sides of your slides, you have gears that propel your slides in and out. You want to keep those nice and clean and use a dry lube, not a oil-based lube, as the oil-based lube will tend to pick up dirt and grime where you are camping. You want to clean and spray these gears about twice a season. Beginning and the end is a good time, and you want to do these rubber gaskets about every other time that you wash your unit. As you come on back your unit, you will find a storage compartment area here, up underneath, either end here, that you can use to store your sewer hose. We have your sewer hose that we give you as part of your startup kit stowed in your rear bumper, but you have onboard storage space for additional sewer hose. You also have your sewer hookup down here, and the sewer hookup uses a bayonet type connection, and it goes on here by popping that cap off. That 6 foot of sewer hose that we give you as part of your sewer hookup or your startup kit will come out to about here, and it will work for you when you are using a dump station. At a normal campground, you're going to probably need, as most campgrounds require, you to have a hard connection into their in-ground connection, which will require you to have an elbow connection, and you will probably need about 10 to 15 foot of sewer hose, which you can again purchase from us at HolmanMotorsRV.com or at any reputable RV dealer. To dump your sewer, you would pull the right dump, which is the larger of the two, which would dump your black water or your toilet tank. After you have successfully dumped that, you would pull the gray water, which is your sink and your shower dump, washing out your hose with that sink and shower water. After you have successfully dumped, you close both of those off and allow your tanks to refill. When you go inside your unit, which we'll show you when we go in, you will check your monitor. If your monitor for your black water tells you that you have not dumped, even though you know you have, then you will go on the other side of your unit and plug a water hose into the black water tank spray or flush out. We'll show you where that is when we go on the other side. Before you ever hook a water hose to that though, come around here, make sure that you still have your sewer hose hooked to here, pull this black water pull out again, then go over there and hook up that water hose. You want to make sure that this is pulled and before you hook up to that black water tank flush out. That will activate the jets in that black water tank, filling that black water tank up, flushing that black water tank out, washing that solid buildup out, and shooting that all out through that black water or through your sewer hose. If you don't pull that pull out, then you run the risk of that black water tank filling up, overflowing sewage through your toilet into the inside of your bathroom, into your unit. That would not be a good thing. Once you have flushed that all out, turn the water off, unhook your hose from the other side, come back over here, close this up, then you're ready to dump your black water treatment into your toilet. How often will you need to do that? Depends on the buildup in your black water tank, maybe every second or third time that you dump your black water, depending on how clean you can keep your tank. Right here is your outside shower, hot and cold water. Pull this out and you have access for a nice outside cleaning area. If you winterize and dewinterize your unit yourself, don't forget to do this. Your 30 amp service connection for your shoreline connects in here. You need 30 amps of service if you're a new camper. When you pull into an RV park and they ask you whether you need 30 or 50 amps, you need 30 amps of service. On the other end of your shoreline, which plugs in over at the plug-in, you have a 30 amp pigtail. We give you a 30 to a 15 amp adapter. You can use that 15 amp adapter to plug into a regular wall plug to hook up your lights inside, run your refrigerator, etc. Do not ever run your air conditioner with that 15 amp plug-in. You need at least 30 amps to run the air conditioner, or you run the risk of burning out your air conditioning unit. You can stow this, unplug it, stow it in one of those front compartments. Below this, you have one water connection. Your city water connection is right here. When you connect to your city water connection, then you bypass your onboard water system or your water tank. You hook up to your city water connection, and you would probably want to use a regulator on that water hose that we give to you. We give you the water hose, the regulator you would need to purchase yourself. That regulator is going to keep the water pressure at the campsite at or below 55 psi. In case that water pressure were to exceed 55 psi, it could damage the plastic plumbing inside your unit. Hook up to the water connection here and to the spout at either your home or the campground. Right below that is a coaxial hookup, which allows you to hook into the coaxial hookup, which you will find at most private campgrounds right next to where you plug in your shoreline. Right here you have the outside access door to your bunkhouse area for an emergency exit and ventilation. Here is where you would access the sewer hose that we give to you, and you can also store additional sewer hose in the other side. The rear jacks on your unit are controlled by opening this little door, extend, retract. Again, make sure that you have them in the completely retracted position before you use your power jack, and always before you move your vehicle or your unit. We'll demonstrate the use of the easy access door handle. You have two, one on each of the doors. Lift. I always transport mine in front of the door. That way I know for sure that my door will stay closed. Access door to the bathroom area. This is handy if you want to use the bathroom while you're transporting the unit in a rest area. Here is that black water or sewer tank flush that we were talking about. Always, again, make sure you have that black water pulled out and your sewer hose connected before you hook up and turn the water on. The grill unit that you will find stowed in that front panel attaches the cradle to here, and the grill sits on top of that. Your quick connect for your grill is up underneath here. Push in, connect the hose to here, just like you would do to remove or connect the dust cover. Off-on control is also right here. Overhead speakers controlled by your stereo inside. Outside access to your refrigerator with the condensation plug. Make sure that that little plug stays in there. That keeps varmints from getting up inside that and plugging up the condensation plug. 110 outlet, ground faulted into your main bathroom, and coaxial hookup for your onboard antenna and the coaxial coming through the park, so you can bring your TV outside here and enjoy TV outside. Outside vent for your furnace and the outside of your 6-gallon water heater, hot water heater. These three areas are favorites for mud daubers and wasps to get into. If you have a problem with that, you can get the more fine screen covers either through HolmanRV.com or call us, or any reputable RV dealer. All you need to know is the manufacturer of these three, your refrigerator, furnace, and your hot water heater, and that information is contained in your manuals. Your hot water heater is both electric and gas. To fire off the gas part, actually before you fire off any of this, let's go back a little bit, you always want to make sure you have water in your hot water tank. You do that by making sure you have the plug in, and this would be the drain plug down here, and by checking the pressure relief valve to make sure you have water in it. I always do that before I fire off either the electric or the gas. To fire off the electric, it's electronic ignition, so I turn the switch on inside and it will automatically fire off by electronic ignition the gas part of the burner, which is right in here. If for some reason the gas does not fire off, I come out here, push these two buttons in at the same time, and that will reset the electronic ignition for the gas. I would use the gas burner, pardon me. I would use the gas burner when I'm dry camping, or if I want to recycle the hot water faster. The gas heats much faster than the electric. The electric part of the hot water heater I have to turn on by popping this little counter pin out and turning this little rocker switch to the on position. That turns on the outside part of the hot water heater, which is this little unit right here. And we'll check inside. I think your unit also has a switch inside that we turn on besides this electric switch out here. You may use both the electric and the gas at the same time. The advantage to that would be use the electric part when you're at a campground that has electric, use their electric. Then when you're cycling, taking showers, hit the gas button. The gas will fire up hotter and faster, giving you more hot water quicker. Then when you're done taking the showers, turn the gas off and just leave the electric do the normal heating. To fill your onboard water tank, you would take this cap off, put your hose inside here, and fill your onboard water tank, known as your potable water. It's on this side of your unit because when you pull into a campground, the water fill would be on the curb side. Your drain for this is most probably located right up underneath here. And yes, it is right up to the right. There's a blue hose hanging down, just right centered of your steps right here. It's got a valve on it, and you would open that valve and drain out this fresh water tank when you're putting your unit into storage. You probably carry about 40 gallons or so of fresh water. You would want to sanitize that when your unit arrives to you by putting about half a cup of Clorox type bleach or any kind of bleach for 15 gallons of water into the tank. Fill that tank up then, and then drain it out through that drain. Fill it back up again, drain it out to remove the Clorox water. Then your unit is sanitized and it's ready for you to drink and use that water. To get the water out of that tank, you turn the tank pump on inside, and we'll show you where that is once we enter your unit. One final thing on the outside before we talk about your awning is your power vent over your cooktop. Bob's showing you how you open that. You would open that to allow that to vent your cooktop area. Then you would have to remember to close that when you get ready to transport your unit to keep moisture and debris from going up inside the unit, causing damage to your unit. Overhead, we have your nice power awning. You'll notice that it's starting to flap just a little bit as we have a breeze coming up and coming across our large parking lot. Anytime you have a breezy day, be very careful with that awning because it starts to bounce. If you get a good gust of wind come up underneath here, you could have that awning go up over the top of your unit, causing damage to the support arms. Manufacturer recommends a couple of things. One is that you never tie down this awning, and the second thing is anytime you leave the awning, that you bring that awning back in and stow it up against your unit. And you do that simply by holding the button in to bring it in. To bring it out, you push it in the extend position. You never want to store your unit with this awning wet. You always want to open it up on a day like today, allow it to dry out completely, then close it back up and stow it when it is dry. I believe that finishes up on the outside of your 2013 ViewFinder. We're now going to go inside and finish your tour with the inside features of your unit.